All right, so if you take a look at the sheet that I just gave you, we are basically going to work in reverse now. It's really not bad. If you can multiply, you can do this.
We're going for a multiplication.
All right, so we're gonna work backwards. So on last night's homework, I started you off with some polynomial and you had to find the zeros. Now I'm giving you all the zeros and you're gonna come up with the polynomial. So let's think back. If I just grab last night's homework real quick, or just a piece of it that we were doing, take a look right here. Here was like the tail end of one of the problems. So if I were to go backwards, basically what I want to do is I want to ask myself, okay, if 1 is one of the answers that I'm getting, what factor did that come from? Wouldn't that have come from an x minus 1 factor? That's how I got positive 1 as an answer. Same thing here, 1/5, where did that come from? Wouldn't that have come from a 5x minus 1? Now, it is true, I just want to talk about this real quick. We'll talk about this more when we do the second problem. If you had x minus 1/5, that works also, but we are focusing on polynomials that have what's called integral coefficients. What does that mean? That means all of your coefficients in your polynomial are integers. So I actually don't want to deal with fractions. So although it's not wrong to have x minus 1/5 that would produce 1/5 as an answer, I don't want to deal with it. If I just go to this 0, 5x minus 1, doesn't that still produce a positive 1/5? Right? Do you see that? Do you see where this is coming from? And then it just makes my life 10,000 times easier. Okay? But anyway, in my first one, I don't even have any fractions, so I don't have to worry about that. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to say, all right, well, what factor did positive 2 come from? What must this have been to produce 2 as a 0? X minus 2. All right, to get negative 1 as a 0, what must this thing have been? What? X plus 1. Right? If you set that equal to 0, you'd get negative 1 out as an answer. And what would 3 have come from? X minus 3. The only thing you have to do now is just multiply those together and you're done. That's literally it. So if I were you, I'd multiply 2 of them together. You'd FOIL them, right? And then take that answer and multiply it by the third. Okay, so I'll just FOIL the first 2 together. Is that okay so far? So just multiply 2 of them together. And now I just have to take that and multiply it by the x minus 3. Do you remember how? If you have a trinomial and a binomial, what you do? You basically just have to multiply every term by each other. So what I like to do is I take my binomial, and I'm going to do x times all 3 of these. And then I'll do negative 3 times all 3 of these. So I'm going to have 6 terms when I do that out. And then I'll just simplify, combine any like terms if there are any. Okay, so that's my method. So I'm going to do x times all 3 of these. And then right in the same line, do negative 3 times all of those. And then just combine like terms if we have any, and we're done. Oh, I told you. Does it get worse? A little bit, but it's not that bad. Where am I? Just plus 6. Double check me. Is that what you guys got? I feel like I'm missing something. There we go. So a few things just to check real quick. Pretend I didn't know what those zeros were. How many zeros should there be if that's my answer? Jake?
3.
There should be 3. I look back, okay, there's 3. You could certainly plug them in and make sure that you really do get 0. So if this were a test or a quiz, I mean, it doesn't take very long to pop into 2 and just make sure that you really do get 0 back out. I'll do that one real fast because these are easy. It'd be 8 minus 16, right? Plus 2 plus 6. Yep, it really is 0, so I'm fairly confident that I did this right. Does that make sense? So I guess if you want to just, I don't know if you guys like the words or not, but so first you're going to find the factors each 0 came from. And then multiply them together. Okay, now I know the next one looks intimidating, but it's really not that bad once you kind of get the hang of it. So, yeah, wouldn't that be a 3x minus 2 that produces 2/3? If you set that equal to 0, you're just going to add the 2 divided by 3. Yeah, that would exactly get me 2/3. So try the negative 3/4. Don't say anything out loud. Everybody get what you think, what 0 negative 3/4 came from. You got it?
Yes,
What is it?
4x plus 3.
Yes, 4x plus 3, right? Because wouldn't you minus the 3 divided by 4? And then negative 3 comes from x plus 3. So that's it. I've got my factors. Now just multiply them together. So everybody go ahead, multiply them, and we'll see if we end up in the same spot. Let me know if you got what I got. Yeah, we feel all right? Easy enough? Okay, all right. Now, let's look at the third one. What are we gonna do about that 3 plus root 2, 3 minus root 2? First of all, it's important to know that if one of the zeros is listed, you know its conjugate pair automatically is 1. So even if it's not listed, you know it's going to be there. Here, they're giving us both. Right? They gave me the positive and they gave me the negative. But if only one were listed, they always come in pairs. You can't have one without having the other. All righty. So that's good to know. So all my zeros are here. They're all represented. What should the degree of this one be when I'm all done? How many zeros are there? 3. So I should be at degree 3 when I'm done. right? Same thing for the last one. I forgot to double check that, but we got it, so that's good. Okay, so here's a little bit of a snag. I know what to do with the 1, right? That just came from an x minus 1. Yeah.
So with these, are you gonna have like, say, yeah, exponent on the outside of the parentheses?
Well, you have 2 options again, and I think I know which option you guys are going to lean towards. I can, yes, you can do that same thing, the sum of the zeros and the product, because that gives me the quadratic that produced those 2 zeros. So you can always do that. And then that would give me, I would just multiply my x minus 1 with whatever that answer is. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to do find the sum and product to find quadratic that made those zeros. Okay, so just like you guys are used to doing, I'm going to find the sum, which is 6, right? The product would be 7. Yeah, okay. So that quadratic would be x squared minus 6x plus 7. And now all I have to do is multiply with that x minus 1. So a little bit trickier, but not that bad, right? Yeah. So again, I'm going to take the x and multiply it by my trinomial. And then I do the -1 times all of it. What do we think? Did you get what I got? Yeah or no? Yeah, you did? Okay. I lean on you guys to double check me. And don't forget, you can check this answer. It would be kind of a nightmare to check the 3 plus root 2, but you have a 1, right? You can plug 1 in so easily. Just see if it works, right? That'd be 1 minus 7 plus 13 minus 7. Does it work? Yep. Isn't that really 0? And that took like 3 seconds. But now I'm fairly confident that I did that right. Okay, we got a double whammy in the last one. But it's no problem. We know exactly what to do. I have both of my roots here. Now, one thing that is a little bit different is they only gave me this one, but we know that if that's given, automatically, that is also a 0. They always come in pairs. If you have an irrational or an imaginary number, always comes with its conjugate pair, okay? All righty, so what are we gonna do? We're basically gonna do this, say the sum product thing twice. I'll do it with the imaginary, I'll do it with the irrational. So let's go ahead, find our sum product for each one. Be careful with the I squared. Remember, they're really -1. So that's really a 9 plus 4, right? Thoughts? You guys are so quiet, I feel like. Does this make sense so far? That's okay? All right, and then I'm gonna do the exact same thing with my irrational numbers. And I'm gonna get their quadratic that they came from. Yeah. Go so fast. Once I'm here, well, let me ask, did you get what I got too for that one? And now all I have to do is multiply these two together and I'm done. Okay, how do you multiply a trinomial with a trinomial? Yeah, you just got to do all the terms with all the terms. So before you come, like, here's what I like to do. I make sure, once I've done all my multiplying, before I combine any like terms, how many terms should there be? If I'm doing a 3 by 3, there should be 9. You should have 9 terms before you start combining them with like terms, okay? So that helps me to make sure that I got them all. So I just go down the line. So I'm gonna do x squared times all 3 of these. Then I'm gonna do negative 6x times all 3 of these. And then I'm gonna do 13 times all 3 of these. So you're gonna get 9 things in one long line. So I don't have a ton of room. I'm gonna try and squeeze it in. So again, I start with x squared and I just multiply it by all 3 of those. And then I go right to the negative 6x and I multiply by those same 3. Some people do this vertically. So if you do that, that's fine. Like they line up the like terms. I just do it horizontally, but you do whatever you want. And then I do the 13. Ooh, I almost made it. And then I just check real quick. Do I really have 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Now I can combine like terms. Who knows what I'm going to end up with, but thirds, I have 4. Oops, 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 oops. I messed up. Oh gosh, what did I do wrong? Yes. Did I just write a 2 instead of a 3? Yeah. So squares. Oh, I messed it up. So I got a negative 25 plus 13. Negative 12. And then x is 6 and 52, so 58. Minus the 13 on the end. Yeah, that's what. Okay, cool. Oh, I forgot the square right there. Oops, there we go. Now we're happy.
It's any more complicated.
No, I mean, it could just by having more zeros. So then you just have more things to multiply together. Right?
That's
But
all you're teaching us tonight?
that's it. But the concept is fairly easy, right? You have your zeros. You just gotta ask yourself, okay, what's the factor that produced that 0? And then multiply it together. If you really want to. Okay, so let me give you Any questions so far? Feel all right? Okay, so let me give you. Well, it's classwork, but whatever you don't finish turns into paper. That's it.
Yep, it's gonna be, how do we said it's gonna be like 90 degrees? Remember, if that happens. I'm out of here. I would say this. Oh.
All right. Stop that.